This is what happens when you diss One Direction. Harry Styles cries. All right, I'm exaggerating, but still, words can hurt, you guys. So thanks to One Direction's meteoric rise to fame over the last few years, a lot of people have a lot to say about the group, but shockingly, not all of it is good. In fact, a number of celebrities have taken verbal jabs at these British lads, and while some of the comments were just playful, some of them were straight up mean. And that is what brings us here today, my friends. We're breaking down 18 celebrities who have pissed off the One Direction fandom by straight up dissing One Direction. And we're gonna be here for a while, so please get cozy, all right? First off, we have Mark Wahlberg. The megastar stopped by Conan and said he wants to beat them up. But what we want to know is, why the hostility, Mark?
But now the girls have turned to One Direction, and it's like, they don't care about Dad anymore. My 4-year-old's going, Daddy, I like Harry. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna punch Harry in the nose when I see him.
Aw, that's actually kind of cute. Looks like he's just having trouble dealing with the fact that his kids are growing up, and it's even making him a little jealous. It's okay, Mark. And you know what? For what it's worth, I love Harry Styles, but I'm pretty sure Marky Mark would whoop his butt in a fight. Our second celebrity to diss One Direction is Law star Matthew Fox, and his situation is also very similar to Mark Wahlberg's.
My daughter, I have to bust her chops about it. She's a One Directioner, so I feel it's my responsibility as her father to make sure that she understands that there's a wide variety of amazing amounts of fantastic music being made in the world that don't involve like 5 really good-looking kids from the UK.
Again, jealous much? And by the way, it's not One Directioner, it's just Directioner. For number 3, it's another famous dad dissing One Direction, and that would be William H. Macy. He took his daughters to see 1D in concert. I know, best dad ever, but he didn't have the nicest things to say about the experience.
I went to a concert.
How was that?
I've been in showbiz all my life, and so let me just say, those guys can sing. They are very talented. They couldn't put on a good show with a gun to their head.
Dang, dude, tell us how you really feel. He even made fun of their choreography. We sense a theme here. Dads, famous or not, don't really like the One Direction group. And that's okay. We're pretty sure dads are not 1D's target audience anyway. Speaking of, the number 4 celeb on our countdown should technically be a part of their target audience, but just isn't a fan. And my friends, we are talking about 17-year-old Lorde. She was once reportedly quoted as saying, One Direction are pretty overrated and their music isn't really good. I find it odd they're famous. Wow. Lorde, however, was seen attending a concert of theirs in New Zealand in 2013, so yeah, I guess 1D has the upper hand here. The 5th celebrity on our list is repeat offender, as she's dissed 1D not once, but twice. Ms. Demi Lovato was once the object of Niall Horan's affection, but we have a feeling that those feelings disappeared after the shade that she threw his way. Alright, so first back in 2012, when Demi was a judge on The X Factor, she gave Simon Cowell a hard time for having Emblem 3 perform 1D's song What Makes You Beautiful during one of the live shows. However, that could be more of a Simon Cowell diss than anything else. But still, way to be sassy, Demi. Now, cut to late 2014 when Demi was asked whether or not she would ever want to collab with the 1D fellas. And she replied saying, I focus more on collaborations with people who inspire me. Nothing wrong with One Direction. Okay, so as you can imagine, Directioners were not happy, and then she clarified by following up with this. I'm not a One Direction fan per se. They're not bad, they're great, but they're like a boy group. What is wrong with boy groups, Demi? And hey, while we're on the subject of boy bands, let's talk about Midnight Red, who took a little Twitter jab at One Direction. The group was reportedly in talks to be part of 1D's tour, but 5 Seconds of Summer obviously ended up with the coveted gig, leading them to send out this tweet. Glad we didn't become that band that only became famous opening for that group. Hashtag no TV show. Hashtag doing it our way. Ooh. Bitter much? Way to pack a 1-2 punch there, dissing 5 Sauce and 1D. We feel like it should also be mentioned that the tweet was quickly deleted, so yeah, that's that. The seventh celeb on our list might be someone that you haven't really heard of, but that did not stop James Arthur from totally dissing Louie Tomlinson. All right, James is a part of the X Factor family since he won the UK version of the competition back in 2012, but he sparked up a Twitter feud when he decided to tweet boy bands. So this led to many Directioners pointing out that Louie had supported him during his time on the X Factor, but then he called Louie a quote, little He continued his rant, saying, I have nothing against One Direction fans or the band itself. I have an issue with one member. They insulted me when I had nothing against them, so now I don't pull any punches when I'm asked. And he also said, look, I do appreciate their help, but like a lot of people, when I said 1D were about marketing, certain members of the band turned on me too. I meant no offense, and they were pretty awful to me too. I don't suffer them or pretend to like them. All right, that whole thing just sounded really messy to me. And speaking of messy, things got very messy when YouTuber Tyler Oakley decided to shade the band, and he is coming in at number 8 on our countdown. All right, this one is an intricate one, so please stay with me on this tale. It all started when Duck Dynasty's Willie Robertson said some homophobic comments, and then Liam Payne tweeted at the star saying that he was a fan of the show, which led Tyler to express his disappointment in Liam via Twitter, and Directioners were way pissed off and even tweeted death threats at Tyler. So Liam apologized and defended himself, and the whole situation seemed to be fixed. However, the real shade came a few months later when One Direction released the video for their song You and I, and Tyler tweeted out a link to Lady Gaga's version instead. Did you follow me? It's okay if you didn't, because I barely followed myself on that one. It was very confusing. All right, coming in at number 9 is none other than Seth Meyers, who took a little jab at the boys during his monologue at the 2014 Primetime Emmys. And it's really more of a backhanded compliment, more than anything else, really.
Cable is looking at Netflix the way Justin Bieber looks at One Direction, through a cloud of marijuana smoke.
Bieber really got the brunt of that diss, don't you think? Next up at number 10, we have Adam Levine, who used his show The Voice to voice his diss at One Direction. Did you guys catch that? Voice? All right. When Stevie Joe and Morgan Wallen performed One Direction's Story of My Life during the show's 6th season, Adam had this to say during his critique. That was a song originally sung by boys, now sung by a couple of men up there on that stage. Come on, Adam, where's the love? Moving along to number 11, you had to have seen this one coming. It's Taylor Swift. You might recall that Harry Styles and Taylor Swift were quite the hot item at the end of 2012, so imagine everyone's surprise at the 2013 MTV VMAs when it appeared as though Taylor mouthed, "Shut the up" to Selena Gomez while Harry and company were on the stage. So that obviously looks like a diss, but conspiracy theorists have thrown out this scenario, which we kind of believe. Some think that Selena was telling Taylor how she wasn't going to win the category that she was nominated for, when Taylor then leaned over and told her to shut up, and the camera happened to just catch her at that bad time. Anyway, that's our story, and we are sticking to it. Coming in at number 12 is The Wanted. Honestly, this feud runs pretty deep, so we're gonna give you the Cliff Notes version. Zayn called Max a geek for posting a photo of himself with Usher on Twitter, and then they started a Twitter feud that basically alluded to the fact that they were going to fight physically. Spoiler alert, that did not actually happen. And The Wanted is basically broken up now, and One Direction is still going strong, so boom, the end of that. Another band who took a jab at One Direction is Mindless Behavior, and they're coming in at number 13. So this group was asked if they thought that they were better than One Direction, and they said that, well, they were, and that the guys couldn't even dance. However, then they quickly admitted that One Direction fellas have better vocals, so I guess that evens that out. Justin Timberlake comes in at number 14, and he said that his boy band was better than One Direction, but it appears that it was all just a little misunderstanding. All right, so JT reportedly declared that NSYNC was way better than One Direction when he said, "I have not seen them on stage, but I'd be willing to say that we're better than them," which immediately grabbed tons of headlines. However, JT was clearly just playing, as he also mentioned, "But I don't feel like I'm laying down any gauntlet. I've seen them a couple of times, and I like those guys. It's interesting to see this whole wave of that come back around." He also kept the joke going by tweeting this: "I thought the question was about a pie eating contest. My bad, hashtag newsworthy." See, the media, they just love to take things and run with it, right? Moving along to number 15, we have fellow Brit Daniel Radcliffe. All right, obviously, Dan Rad made a ton of money off his role as Harry Potter, but it was recently announced that One Direction had out-earned him to be the richest UK entertainer under the age of 30, and he was not happy about that. Dan said, "There's 5 of them, that doesn't count. Not that I care, but I'm definitely first." And actually, he has a point, since One Direction's net worth is $124.99 million, whereas Daniel's is $102.4 million, and he is one person. Either way, with that much money in the bank, none of them have anything to complain about. Coming in at number 16, we have Ms. Miley Cyrus. During an interview with Heat magazine in 2013, Miley threw the ultimate shade by pretending that she didn't even know who they were. She also claimed that she'd never heard one of their songs before, and she said that she thought that maybe she once met Harry Styles. Okay, that photo of you and Harry Styles' cardboard cutout says otherwise, Miley, so don't pretend like you don't know who they are. In fact, your younger sister Noah is like prime One Direction fandom age, so you definitely know who One Direction is. All right, number 17 on our countdown is a diss that comes from none other than Paramore's Hayley Williams. When One Direction released Steal My Girl, it was an instant hit, but she called them out on the fact that it sounded very similar to a New Found Glory song. Beginning of that new One Direction song couldn't sound any more like the beginning of New Found Glory's It's Not Your Fault. She then followed it up by tweeting, "I realize that I'm gonna get hate from a very large fan base for that, but really it has more to do with whoever pitched or co-wrote the song." Well, Liam and Louie were the ones that co-wrote the song, so yeah. And tying into this diss is our 18th and final celebrity One Direction disser, and that's Chad Gilbert from New Found Glory, aka the band that One Direction stole from. So Chad was the first person to notice the similarities, and he took to Twitter to share his observation. Props to One Direction Steal My Girl single for reworking the It's Not Your Fault piano part into a top 40 single, Let Me Get a Cut. However, there were clearly no hard feelings, as Chad also said this: "Wow, did not realize this was going to be a story. It's not a story. My original tweet was a joke anyway. Music influences music. No one cares." Anyway, there you guys have it. 18 celebrities who have dissed One Direction. I feel like I need to watch a Disney movie right now because all of this shade throwing makes me sad. But which one hurt you guys the most? Comment below or hit me up on Twitter so that we can really talk this out. And click right over here to see all of the celebs who have dissed Ariana Grande. That one is a doozy. I'm Miriam Issa, and make sure that you guys subscribe to Clevver News. Catch you guys later.